With so many exosome products flooding the aesthetics market, how do you know if what you're getting is truly what it claims to be? Ask for the NanoSight analysis. Watch now for a quick and thorough explanation of what a NanoSight analysis is by Dr. William Gael, a pioneering cellular regenerative medicine specialist and director of the Gael Center in New York City. Hey there, I am here with Dr. William Gael, a very good friend of mine, and he's going to explain to me, what does this NanoSight mean? I don't know. So can you explain to me, what does this mean when we're talking about exosomes?
A lot of people, even doctors, most everyone doesn't understand the NanoSight reporting. And what you're looking for in a NanoSight report that's going to differentiate one exosome from another objectively is that you want to see a bunch of different colored lights, and you want to see that from about 35 or 50 to 150 nanometers, this is right here, that's the size of an exosome. Everything past 150 is probably more extracellular matrix or hyaluronic acid, not exosomes. So stem cells secrete all those things. That's why we call them secretomes. But an exosome is going to be right from about 35 or 50 milli to 150 nanometers. What you really want to see is you want to see a narrow peak. So you see this yellow peak? That's beautiful. And you see these red ones, you see the dark peak? That's like a short peak, short, narrow peak. So it's going up. I see about 2.5 billion or a little 2.25. It's coming almost straight down. The narrower your peak, the purer your product. If you see some exosomes, which I see, and I've lectured about, when you see a peak go up and then you see the line gradually come back to the baseline, that is not a pure product. Most likely what's happened is this person's lab has grown stem cells out over 10 generations.
Like replicating them, expanding them multiple times.
Right now, your parents are zero, you're first generation.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like a first generation exosome. You're pure. You're a great exosome.
Yes, I am.
So your kids, let's say, will be second generation. Their kids will be third generation. And as generations go, they get weaker and weaker.
Correct.
There were some labs, believe it or not, that go out to 100 generations.
I've heard thousands.
After 10 generations, senescence starts to set in.
Yes.
When senescence sets in, the exosomes that are produced by the stem cells are no good.
Right.
So a lot of labs will tell you they have billions upon billions, like 100 billion exosomes per milliliter, but they're no good because they've been going out 100 generations.
Would you refer to those like cellular junk, basically?
It's just junk. There's also some labs that will play tricks that will put a product in a blender and blend it up and fragment the exosomes. So when they measure, they get more fragments. That's a cheap trick to make you think they're more
Exosomes.
So when it comes to exosomes, it's not always about the number, it's about the quality.
Right.
So you can have 1 billion exosomes that's better than this 100 billion exosomes. It's really quality, and you can tell quality by the narrowness of each spike. And exactly what you're seeing here is you're seeing like a little, let's call it a dish, full of fluid that the exosomes are floating in. And on top of this fluid is a microscope. It's like a camera microscope, and it's imaging the fluid. And then what happens is from the side of the dish of fluid are lasers. And these lasers are different wavelengths, and they give us a different color. So what you're seeing here is these particles were picked up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different lasers. So that's how you know that this yellow wavelength laser picked up 3.5 billion particles of that
particular
size.
type of.
And so that's how this machine works. It shines different lasers sideways to the dish of exosomes floating around, and the laser hitting those particles and picking up the particle size by basically running into them. And as that happens, it's measuring the size of those same size particles.
Right.
As it gets
bumps into them.
Exactly.
Okay.
So each of these different colors is a different type of exosome. The narrower the peak, the purer the product.
Okay.
That's it.
So this is what
This is a very good product.
This is a very good product.
Yeah.
This particular product is actually H0, which comes from the company Resilia. So this is the best. I appreciate your exposition on this. So when we refer to the quantification and the characterization of exosomes, this is as defined by the NanoSight machine. We refer to this the nano.
This is the best way to take a look at the objective, let's say, efficacy of the exosome. If you want to compare one exosome against another exosome, one lab against another lab, this is the way to do it. This will tell the truth.
So not many companies actually provide this. They
No.
do this.
They don't want to provide it, and
So they would show
95% of the people who use exosomes don't know how to interpret a NanoSight.
I really appreciate your help with this today.
Good.
Thank you, Dr. Gail.